The UK has become quite a dump.
Are you saying that the West is woke?
I'm saying the West is woke.
Utter woke nonsense.
I'm seeing a lot of subverters. I'm seeing a lot of grifters online, putting content out there, slandering the UK, telling everyone to get out.
Self-improvement gurus and escape the West, escape to Thailand, escape to the East.
I hate both of those guys.
I hate all of them guys, and it seems like it's very much they've all come together to form the worst guy ever. We aren't coming online and saying that the UK is a fun place to be right now, but at the same time, it does feel like there's a whole industry of grifters. As always, they try and sell you a course. They want you to escape to the East. Yeah, they don't care about your woes. What they care about is preying off your desperation, knowing that you want to escape the UK, so you'll buy a course on how to move to Thailand. Here's my course on cold showers, no fapping, and how to boys in Thailand.
I think it plays into the exploitative nature of the modern influencer. There is an audience out there because, as you've said, as we've said, the UK is not a very good place right now. You can get arrested for a tweet. The economy is a bit up and down.
It's a bit stinky.
But I think it plays into the subversive nature of the influencers where they can exploit a whole margin of people so they can make a living selling a course to them. Off of AdSense.
Yeah, and that's another one. That's the next one. It's like, and if there's not a guy who's pushing a course, he just knows there's clicks in it. He knows there's a lot of clicks in the
whole premise of, quite frankly, ducking and running is just outright cowardice.
Yeah,
it's not facing the problems. You're not even moving to a nicer part of the country. It's just outright cowardice. Where I don't know. I don't really know why.
I know what you're saying. It's this. I think this is the stupidity of it. A lot of these, we'll get into the subversive element of the UK's fallen, which is more a left-wing thing. But I've found that a lot of this content we're talking about, it veers towards like conservatism and right-wing thought. It's escaped the UK because the UK is no longer traditional. Now, from my belief sets, a lot of these guys who are conservative and right-wing talk about globalism a lot.
I know what you're
if
saying.
you're escaping the UK but you're saying that the West has fallen as a global project, then all you're doing is escaping for
20 years?
20, 30 years. And here's another thing. People will say, oh yeah, the boomers are cowards. They just spent all the money, didn't care about anything, and passed on the problems to their grandchildren. Guess who's going to pay the price? Your grandchildren. So you're doing the exact same thing that the boomer generation, who you're slating every 2 minutes.
And I agree with boomer slander to most of the extent, but you've got to be the change you want to see in the world. I think this sort of mindset is completely irresponsible. What these influencers have done is quite clearly got themselves into career paths they didn't want to be in and blamed the entire world around them for them not taking action. Yeah, maybe I couldn't take it in the UK. Maybe it is a bit too cold for me.
Yeah, the UK's fallen, but a lot of it is you just want to sit on a beach, sipping pina coladas. It's got nothing to do with the UK falling. You want to... And listen, I'm not saying that... I'm not getting into the Elon Musk stuff either, where it's like you need work 60 hours a week. Yeah, the economy stinks and people are being bled dry. But at the same time, a lot of these guys don't care about the West. No. They simply just want a carefree life in Bali, sitting on the computer pretending like they're doing something.
And we've spoke about the modern man's nihilism before. It's just, it plays into the aimlessness of modern men when their whole purpose in life is booking flights.
There's this idea that it's like a revolutionary thing. It's so easy for them.
So easy.
Yeah, it might cost a bit more to go to Thailand, but the problem is you end up in Thailand.
Escape the UK. See who's here? He was here, a boy.
Get out of this country. Everyone's saying this on social media now, and there's a reason for that. But the reality is, this country is inherently flawed in so many ways, politically, economically, and culturally. And it wouldn't be a proper video about Britain if I didn't mention how the weather is.
How much of all of these problems are, it's kind of cold in the winter.
The weather's awful.
The weather's absolutely bipolar, you know?
Look at the top of the video is the UK is depressing. He talks about social, cultural issues. I'm strapped in. I'm thinking, right, this guy is going to give us some
base takes.
Some base takes. Come on, Ollie.
Graphs.
Give us some. And what's he say? The weather kind of sucks, brother. The weather always sucked. And if that's your motivation for moving out, you don't like the weather. Then go
be honest.
I don't care.
Be honest.
But
Get
that's got nothing to do with the UK has fallen. The UK has fallen, bro. You know it's always been. We're a little island. It's always been wet.
We're an island in the middle of the ocean. It's kind of cold and wet all the time.
How's the UK fallen? How has that ever been any different? Oh, the sun's not out.
You're alright, mate. You're okay.
There you go.
has this culture of apathy. It has this culture of risk aversion that is in combination with life getting worse and worse.
You know what that says to me? That says to me that the British people, they don't take risks, they don't book flights, they don't do cliff jumps on video. Do you know what I mean? He's really upset that we don't have that free love, freeway type life.
You've got to leave this country and go and see what it can be like elsewhere. Network with the other ambitious British people who do exist. There's plenty of them online. But if you want to be around them in person, which is a lot better, go out to places like Thailand, to Bali, to Dubai. These people, they are out there and they will show you.
Dubai.
That's the point of the video. Bro's consumed too much finance, bro, self-improvement slop.
Are billionaires just going to be walking the streets in Thailand? Or the snakes?
Because-
Of the snakes?
UK's fallen.
UK's fault. Well, it's convinced me.
And then there's the worst kind, like I say, the grifters. The grifters are there to be ridiculed. Then you've got the other type. You've got the subversive. You've got the people who are fanning the flames and completely ignoring the issues that people actually want to talk about. People like this Jimmy the Giant. He's talking about Nigel Farage a lot, talking about the class system. Basically, I've watched a couple of his videos, just get a grasp of what he's on about. Bro read an Owen Jones book the other week. Owen Jones is like the laughing stock of UK politics. He's absolutely embarrassing. He read his book and had a complete 180 on how the world works. Like I said, I'm not going to delve into it too deep, but he did a video recently where he basically said, through Nigel Farage and Twitter and people like Elon Musk, we had carnage on the streets for a full weekend, and it was all because of these horrible people who were pulling the strings. Things got really bad, like within 10, 15 miles of where we lived. It had got nothing to do with Mr. Robinson. Yeah. Nothing to do with it at all. It got nothing to do with Elon Musk or Nigel Farage. This was just general working class unrest, and people went on the streets because they feel like they've not been heard. Like I say, you can laugh about the grifters, but these people who are talking about the UK is falling and they're so out of touch with what's going on.
Sinister.
And no time. That's the word. It's
man.
treacherous.
I get people having like these crazy misconstrued views about things like World War II, World War One, things that none of the people around there are alive anymore to get their point.
I live in it every single day.
I've watched the riots unfold from the to start it till it ended, and I never felt once that we were being instigated onto the streets by T-Rob and Farage wave. I think it plays into the UK's fallen narrative perfectly, because you always go and get people on the left side of the political spectrum where they will try and use anything to get their misconstrued point across.
If we just spent enough money on the NHS, the reasons that the riots happened and this tension that people who live in working class communities feel every single day.
Because the Conservatives defunded the
it's because
NHS.
It's because of the NHS.
Yeah, that's not how it works. Oh, here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say the exact same thing I said in the intro, and everyone in the comments are going to glaze me for it because I'm so based. We're not silly boys, as much as we might come across as such. I mean, the UK is a bit of a dive, kind of cold at times. We're in economic turmoil, and the government, the bloody government. We're under no illusions that the UK has things that need to be solved. But if you sit online listening to people who literally tell you to go duck and run, or stick your head in the sand, or believe in liberalism, then I think you should probably take a step back offline and maybe go out and plant a tree.
Yeah, stop being a big time silly Billy.